Hey there, welcome back to House of Business. Today, we're diving into one of the most infamous marketing blunders in history, New Coke. It's a tale of a giant corporation that thought it was making a genius move, only to face a massive backlash. So, grab your favorite soft drink, Coke or Pepsi, we don't judge, and let's get into it. Now, picture this. It's 1985. Ronald Reagan is president. Back to the Future is killing it at the box office. And Coca-Cola has been America's favorite soft drink for nearly a century. But all is not well in the land of fizzy drinks. You see, Coca-Cola had a problem. A big Pepsi-shaped problem. For years, Pepsi had been gaining ground on Coke, especially among younger drinkers. Pepsi had been running blind taste tests called the Pepsi Challenge, where people would try unmarked samples of Pepsi and Coke. And here's the kicker. In these tests, more people preferred the taste of Pepsi. This was keeping Coca-Cola executives up at night. They were still the market leader, but Pepsi was catching up fast. Something had to be done. But what? Enter Roberto Goizueta, Coca-Cola's CEO, and a man with a plan. His idea. If people preferred the taste of Pepsi, then by golly, Coca-Cola would create a new formula that would beat Pepsi at its own game. And so, Project Kansas was born. For 2 years, Coca-Cola worked in secret, tweaking their century-old formula. They ran nearly 200,000 taste tests. The new formula was sweeter, smoother, more like Pepsi. And in blind taste tests, it was beating both old Coke and Pepsi. The Coca-Cola executives were ecstatic. They thought they had struck gold. On April 23, 1985, with great fanfare, Coca-Cola announced the release of the new formula. They called it New Coke. Goizueta declared it was smoother, rounder, yet bolder than the original. The company was so confident in the new product that they stopped production of the original Coke. Let that sink in for a moment. They completely replaced a century-old American icon. At first, things seemed okay. Sales of New Coke were up 8% over the previous year. But then, the backlash began. And oh boy, was it a backlash. You see, Coca-Cola had made a critical error. They had focused so much on taste that they completely overlooked the emotional connection people had with the original Coke. People weren't just angry, they were outraged. They felt like a piece of American culture had been taken away from them. The company was flooded with phone calls and letters. We're talking 1,500 calls a day to their consumer hotline. People were hoarding cases of the old Coke. Some even filed lawsuits to force Coca-Cola to bring back the original formula. One particularly passionate fan, a writer in Seattle, started a group called Old Cola Drinkers of America. He did interviews with the national media, rallying people to demand the return of the original Coke. This wasn't just about a soft drink anymore. It had become a national issue. Coca-Cola executives were stunned. They had done extensive market research. The new formula had won in hundreds of thousands of taste tests. How could this be happening? The answer was simple. Coca-Cola had underestimated the power of brand loyalty and nostalgia. People didn't just like Coke. They loved it. It was part of their lives, their memories, their identity as Americans. And New Coke, no matter how good it tasted, was seen as an imposter. As the outcry grew louder, Coca-Cola realized they had made a massive mistake. Just 79 days after the launch of New Coke, they announced the return of the original formula. They called it Coca-Cola Classic. On July 11, 1985, the first batch of Coca-Cola Classic was produced. The public reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly positive. People celebrated like it was a national holiday. A company hotline received 31,600 calls in the first 2 days after the announcement. One caller said it was like a lost friend has returned home. The Coca-Cola executives tried to put a positive spin on the fiasco. They claimed that the return of the original formula proved how much people loved Coca-Cola. Goizueta even joked, "We're not that dumb, and we're not that smart." But let's be real, this was a colossal blunder. Coca-Cola had spent millions on developing and marketing new Coke, only to abandon it mere months later. The whole episode became a textbook example of marketing gone wrong. So, what can we learn from the new Coke fiasco? A few key things. First, never underestimate the power of nostalgia and emotional connection. Your customers might be attached to your product in ways that go beyond its actual qualities. Second, be careful with market research. While new Coke performed well in taste tests, these tests couldn't capture the full picture of how people felt about Coca-Cola. Third, if you're going to make a big change, don't go all in at once. Coca-Cola could have avoided much of the backlash if they had introduced new Coke as a separate product line, instead of replacing the original entirely. Fourth, listen to your customers. When people started complaining, Coca-Cola listened and acted quickly to bring back the original formula. This saved them from an even bigger disaster. And finally, sometimes a blunder can turn into an opportunity. The new Coke fiasco actually ended up reinforcing people's loyalty to Coca-Cola. Sales of Coca-Cola Classic soared after its return. Some have even suggested that the whole thing was a clever marketing ploy, though Coca-Cola has always denied this. In the end, new Coke didn't spell doom for Coca-Cola. The company recovered, and today, Coca-Cola is still the world's largest beverage company. New Coke, renamed Coke Tanitu, stuck around until 2002, when it was finally discontinued. Today, it's little more than a punchline and a cautionary tale for marketers. The new Coke story reminds us that even the biggest companies can make enormous mistakes. But it also shows that with quick action and a willingness to admit errors, it's possible to bounce back from even the biggest blunders. So, next time you're sipping on a Coke, remember, that familiar taste isn't just the result of a secret formula. It's the product of one of the biggest marketing lessons in history. Thanks for tuning in to House of Business. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And hey, let us know in the comments. What's your favorite soda? Are you Team Coke, Team Pepsi, or something else entirely? See you in the next one.